Welcome to Drama Horn. In a humble Kikuyu homestead at the foot of Mount Kenya. Mwangi's home is modest, and Kabuki, his goat, is tied to a post outside, chewing lazily. Mwangi muttering to himself, annoyed, this goat, always causing problems. And look at you, Kabuki, one blind eye. Color purple. Ugly as sin. Mwangi gestures towards Kabuki, who doesn't seem to care. Wairamu, Mwangi's daughter, sighing in embarrassment. Baba, why do we still have that thing? Everyone in the village laughs at us because of Kabuki. They laugh because they don't understand greatness. Kabuki may not look it, but he's special. Her dad responded. Kabuki bleating loudly. The goat suddenly jerks, pulling itself free from its tether. With an awkward hobble, Kabuki stumbles toward the village path. Mwangi shouting, running after the goat, Kabuki! Kabuki, where do you think you're going? A narrow, dusty path lined with small farms. Villagers are walking to the market when they spot Kabuki, limping and charging down the road. Mama and Jerry gossiping with her friend, shocked, look! Isn't that Mwangi's goat? The ugly one? Where is it going? Karyuki, the village elder, serious. Trying to assess the situation, this goat is moving like it has an agenda. Something strange is happening. He adjusts his walking stick as if preparing for battle. Maybe it's leading us to a treasure. Or maybe it's just hungry, a villager laughing. With one blind eye? This thing can barely see where it's going. Or maybe the goat thinks it's a pirate, another villager mocking. Kabuki, determined, bleating loudly, suddenly, veers into a neighbor's field and starts eating some crops, with the other goats in the village joining in. The central gathering place in the village, several goats have gathered, seemingly led by Kabuki, who now looks like a ridiculous but confident commander of a goat army. Mwangi arriving, panting, Kabuki! You've embarrassed me for the last time. Mama and Jerry, the village gossiper, laughing hysterically, Mwangi, your goat thinks it's a chief. Look at it. The villagers laugh as Kabuki prances around, leading the other goats like a war hero. Karyuki, the village elder, concerned, serious. We must stop this madness. It's bad luck. This goat is no ordinary animal. Wairamu, embarrassed, hiding her face, Baba, please, do something. Mwangi, frustrated, calls out Kabuki, come here. I said come here, you stubborn animal. Kabuki ignores him, bleating louder. Maybe we should elect Kabuki as the village elder. He's got more leadership skills than you, Karyuki, villager joking. This is no joke. This goat might be possessed by spirits. Karyuki, offended. Mwangi, determined to capture his rogue goat, tries to lure Kabuki back home using some sweet bananas. Kabuki, my dear goat, come and taste these bananas. Look, your favorite. Mwangi calling sweetly. Kabuki sniffing the air, unimpressed. He looks at Mwangi with his one eye, almost as if judging him, then turns away. Even your goat doesn't respect you, Mwangi. Mama and Jerry laughing even harder. This is so embarrassing. Baba, why won't he just come home? Wairamu groaning. This goat is going to be the death of me. Mwangi giving up, muttering. I told you all. This goat is cursed. We need a cleansing ritual. Karyuki, dramatically. Or maybe Kabuki is just hungry for leadership. Look at how the other goats are following him. He's starting a revolution, villagers mockingly. A small group of village elders, led by Kabuki, gather to discuss the Kabuki situation. They sit around a fire. Kabuki began. Serious. This goat has disturbed the natural order of things. I say we call in the medicine man. Medicine man? For a goat? Kabuki, please. Elder 1 skeptical. I think the goat just likes the attention. Mwangi, maybe you should give it a medal. Elder 2 laughing. I just want my goat back. Can't you help me? Mwangi sounding exhausted. Fine. We will summon the spirits to understand why your goat is behaving so strangely. Kabuki determined. The following day, villagers gathered around the elders, who are performing a ritual to control Kabuki. Kabuki stands proudly in the middle of the village square. Spirits of the ancestors, reveal to us why this goat, this Kabuki, leads our village astray. Kabuki chanting dramatically, Kabuki, interrupting bleating loudly, suddenly charges toward Kabuki, who trips over his own feet in fear. The villagers burst into laughter. It seems Kabuki has spoken Kabuki. Mwangi laughing despite himself. Maybe Kabuki should be the new elder after all. Mama and Jerry teasing. Baba, I think Kabuki has chosen his own destiny. Wairamu laughing. Kabuki. Kabuki. Kabuki for elder, villagers started chanting. Back at Mwangi's homestead. Kabuki, now tied to a post again, is resting peacefully, as if nothing happened. You've caused enough trouble for one lifetime, Kabuki. Mwangi sighing, shaking his head. But at least now everyone respects us, Baba. Even if it's because of, well, Kabuki. Wairamu says smiling. Yes. Maybe Kabuki is special after all. Mwangi laughing softly. Kabuki bleating softly, almost smugly, he rests his head on the ground satisfied. Mwangi and Wairamu walk into the house, leaving Kabuki, now the village's accidental hero, to rest peacefully outside. The next day, word has spread like wildfire about Kabuki's antics. Villagers gather around the market, discussing the events from the previous night. I'm telling you, this goat isn't just any goat. Last night it almost knocked down Kabuki. The man was trembling. I swear. Mama and Jerry excited, speaking to a group of women. Kabuki? Our serious elder? How could a goat scare him like that? Yes. Kabuki. The one with one eye and a strange purple fur. Imagine a goat so ugly making the whole village laugh. Mwangi must be so proud. His goat is more famous than he is, says Mama Kennedy. Famous? At this rate, Kabuki will start charging people to see him. We'll have tourists from the big city coming to witness the goat of Mount Kenya. Mama and Jerry chuckling. Mwangi walking past overhearing muttering, that's enough gossip, Mama and Jerry. You'll have people believing Kabuki can perform miracles next. Well, Mwangi. After last night, who knows? Maybe Kabuki is nice chosen goat. Mama and Jerry responded mockingly. A group of villagers have gathered around Mwangi's homestead, staring at Kabuki like he's a local attraction. Mwangi is trying to act casual, though he's secretly proud of the attention. Baba, why are all these people here? They're just staring at him. Wairamu peeking out from behind the door. It seems our little Kabuki has become something of a legend. Mwangi smiling smugly. Mwangi, can I take a picture with Kabuki? A villager calling out. Everyone laughs. Sure, but it'll cost you a banana. Mwangi responded jokingly. The crowd laughs even harder as Kabuki bleats, seemingly approving the deal. I can't believe this goat is becoming famous. Wairamo in disbelief, whispering to herself. Later that afternoon, Kariuki, still embarrassed about being outsmarted by Kabuki the night before, visits Mwangi to demand answers. He arrives at Mwangi's house with his walking stick, fuming. Mwangi, you must control that goat of yours. It humiliated me in front of the entire village. Kariuki shouts angrily, pointing his stick at Mwangi. Ah, Elder Kariuki. You know Kabuki wasn't trying to embarrass anyone. He's just, well, special. Mwangi grinning, trying to contain his laughter. Special? That goat is cursed. It has brought chaos to our village. We need to do something before it ruins everything. Kariuki sounding stubborn. But what can we do? Kabuki didn't mean any harm. Wairamo stepping in, concerned. We should hold a meeting with the village elders. This situation is getting out of hand. A goat cannot lead the people, says Kariuki, becoming dramatic. Oh, but it seems like he already is. Kariuki. Sarcastic response from Mwangi. Kariuki now furious, storming off, we will see about that. That evening, the elders gathered in the council hut to discuss the Kabuki problem. They sit in a circle, facing each other with serious expressions. Elder 1 began calmly, brothers, we must ask ourselves, what harm has Kabuki really caused? Elder 2, laughing, true, the goat has caused more laughter than harm. Maybe we're taking this too seriously. It's just ugly. That's all, laughter. That goat almost attacked me. The villagers are treating it like a leader. Kariuki still angry. Elder 3, mockingly, and why not? Kabuki seems to have more followers than you. Kariuki. Kariuki now more furious, we cannot let this go on. It's a bad omen. Elder 1, thoughtfully, perhaps the gods are trying to teach us something through this strange ugly animal. We should not rush to punish the goat. I still say we need a cleansing ritual. This is not normal. Kariuki still stubborn. Maybe it is normal, just not for you. Elder 2, laughing again. That night at the elders' meeting, the villagers gathered, curious to hear the elders' decision about Kabuki. Mwangi stands at the front, nervously awaiting their judgment. Elder 1, addressing the villagers, after careful thought, we have decided not to punish Kabuki. Kabuki, Kabuki, for leader, villagers cheering. Elder 1, now serious, but, Mwangi, you must keep your goat under control. The village cannot be led by a runaway ugly, purple animal. I promise I'll do my best to keep Kabuki at home. Mwangi relieved. This is not over, Kariuki grumbling in the background. Kabuki, Kabuki, Kabuki for elder, villagers chanting happily as if mocking Kariuki. Kabuki now bleating even more louder and proudly. The villagers continue to laugh and cheer as the elders leave, and Mwangi finally feels a sense of pride mixed with exasperation. At Mwangi's homestead, early next morning, Kabuki is tied up once again, looking content. Wairamo and her father Mwangi are sitting outside, enjoying the peace. Well, Baba, it looks like Kabuki has become a village legend. Everyone's talking about him. Wairamo says smiling. Yes, and I suppose I've grown used to him causing trouble. Who would have thought that this ugly little goat would bring the whole village together? Mwangi sighing with pride. Kabuki, bleating softly, closes his one eye, seemingly pleased with himself. Maybe next time, Baba, you can enter him into the village elections. Wairamu, teasing. Why not? Kabuki for elder, eh? Mwangi, laughing. Early one morning, Mwangi is pacing around his homestead, looking frazzled. Kabuki has been missing for 2 days, and the stress is evident on his face. 2 days. 2 whole days. Kabuki, where are you? I depend on your milk. Mwangi, muttering, worried. Baba, it's a he-goat. You know that's not normal, it's weird, right? Wairamu, rolling her eyes. Mwangi, waving her off. Not normal? What's normal about life? That goat has been giving me milk for years. Maybe Kabuki has gone to find a new home, somewhere they don't milk him like he's a dairy cow. Wairamu, now teasing. If Kabuki doesn't return soon, I don't know what I'll do. We need his milk. Mwangi, desperate, ignoring her jokes. He sits down, wringing his hands, staring out toward the village path. Later in the afternoon, still anxious, he stands outside, scanning the horizon. Suddenly, a distant bleating is heard. His face lights up as Kabuki emerges from the trees, but he's not alone. Behind him are 8 other goats, strange goats that no one recognizes. Kabuki? Mwangi, shocked, eyes widening, he squints, seeing the unfamiliar goats following Kabuki like they're in some kind of military formation. Yeah, Mwangi. Look! Is that your Kabuki? Where has he been, and whose are these goats following him? Mama and Jerry shouts from the road, gasping. Ah! I have no idea. Those goats, I've never seen them before. But look, they're all following him like bodyguards. Mwangi, confused, walking towards them. Your goat has become a general, leading an army of strange goats. Mama and Jerry, now laughing. Wairamu, appearing beside her dad Mwangi, equally baffled. Baba, where did these goats come from? They're not from our village. Mwangi, hesitant, scratching his head. I don't know my daughter. But I'm taking Kabuki home. He looks different. Mwangi managed to lead Kabuki and the mysterious goats back home. They gather outside the hut, all of them watching Mwangi intently, as if waiting for instructions. Mwangi, nervously, grabbing a pail. Well, Kabuki, I'm glad you're back. Time to get some milk, eh? He approaches Kabuki cautiously, begins to milk him, and to his surprise, Kabuki offers milk like nothing ever happened. Wairamu, staring in disbelief. Papa, I still can't get over this. He's a he-goat. Where are his breasts? And only one nipple? Papa, this is so weird. Mwangi, shushing her, focused on milking. Quiet, Wairamu. Milk is milk. I won't question where it comes from. I started feeding you this milk since you were born. Now look how sharp and smart you are, Suddenly, one of the strange goats steps forward, nudging Mwangi's arm gently, as if offering itself to be milked too. Wait, you two? What is this? Mwangi, startled. He hesitates but, after a moment, reaches for the other goat's udder. This is madness. Wairamu, bursting into laughter. Papa, are you going to milk all of them? Do you realize they are all he-goats? Mwangi, in disbelief, as goat after goat steps forward. They all want to be milked. What kind of goats are these? The next morning, Mwangi at the village square, proudly selling milk, but the villagers are confused by the sheer amount he has to offer. Villager 1 questions suspiciously. Mwangi, where did all this milk come from? You usually barely have enough for yourself. Villager 2, also jokingly. Did you find a secret herd of cows? Or have you been sneaking into other farms? Mwangi nervously, trying to act normal. No, it's Kabuki. He brought some new friends, and, well, they're all offering milk. Mama and Jerry suddenly appearing, arms crossed. Mwangi, don't lie to us. These goats you brought back, where did they come from? Kabuki the elder approaching, now more suspicious than ever. And how is it possible that you're milking he-goats? Those goats are not from this village. We've never seen them before, leave alone you claiming to milk them. Mwangi stammering. I don't know. Kabuki just came back with them. They follow him everywhere, and they all wanted to be milked. Villagers chuckling, maybe Kabuki's leading a goat rebellion. He's making them his soldiers. This isn't a joke. Something's not right here. Elder Kabuki serious, looking concerned. Later in the afternoon, the village elders gather to discuss the strange occurrence of Kabuki and his army of goats. Kabuki leads the conversation, sternly worried. Brothers, something strange is happening. Kabuki, the one blind-eyed goat, returns after 2 days with unfamiliar he-goats, and they all offer milk? This is no ordinary situation. Elder 1, nodding thoughtfully. True. No one in the village recognizes these new goats. Elder 2, laughing lightly. Maybe Kabuki is trying to start a new goat clan. He's gathering his own herd. Jokes aside, we must investigate where these goats came from. They may belong to another village. We don't want to start a dispute over stolen livestock. Kabuki sounding serious. Elder 1, calming the room. Let us speak with Mwangi. He must give us more details. Perhaps these goats have a deeper story. Mwangi, feeling the weight of suspicion from the villagers, sits outside his hut, watching Kabuki and the mysterious goats quietly grazing. Wairimu sits beside him. Wairimu asks softly, Baba, what do you think really happened? Where did Kabuki find these goats? I don't know, Wairimu. But something about these feels strange. Mwangi sighing, Kabuki bleeding proudly steps forward, looking as proud as ever, with the other goats standing behind him. Mwangi chucks softly, shaking his head, maybe Kabuki is right. Maybe Kabuki is trying to start his own goat rebellion. If they all keep giving milk like this, I won't have to worry about anything ever again. Or maybe the goats are planning to overthrow you, Papa. You'd better be careful. They are probably alien goats. Do you even know its mother or where it came from? Wairimu wonders and laughing. 1 week later, Mwangi is pacing around, worried once again. Kabuki has disappeared, just like before, and it's been 2 days. Wairimu sits by the door, reading a book, unconcerned. Her dad frustrated, talking to himself. Again. Kabuki, where are you? You leave me every week now. What's going on with you? Wairimu calmly. Baba, I think Kabuki's just trying to expand his empire. Maybe he'll come back with more goats. Goats don't just appear out of nowhere, Wairimu. What if something terrible happens this time? Mwangi responds, quite anxious. Suddenly, a familiar bleating sound is heard from the village path. Mwangi rushes to the edge of the homestead and sees Kabuki limping towards him, followed by yet another group of 8 goats. Not again. Mwangi stunned, hands on his head. I told you, Baba. Kabuki's on a mission. Wairamu laughing. Word has spread quickly about Kabuki's latest return with more goats. The village square is buzzing with gossip as Mwangi brings his new goats into the marketplace, surrounded by curious villagers. I swear, Kabuki has magic in him. Look at this, another 8 he-goats, all giving milk. Where does he find them? Mama and Jerry gossiping loudly. This can't be normal. There's something unnatural about these goats. We need answers. Elder Kabuki grumbling, deeply suspicious. Villager 1, laughing, maybe Kabuki's running a secret goat factory somewhere in the mountains. Villager 2, joking, Mwangi could become the richest man in the village at this rate. First 9 goats, now 18. What next? 30. Mwangi now nervously laughing, I don't know what's going on. Kabuki just keeps coming back with more. But, they all give milk, so I won't complain. Mama and Jerry also now curious, but where are these goats coming from? No one's seen them before. Maybe they're alien goats. Again the village elders gather in their meeting hut that evening, with Kabuki leading the discussion. The mood is serious as they discuss the strange events surrounding Kabuki. Kabuki, sternly emphasizing, this situation is getting out of hand. Every week, Kabuki returns with more goats. We must find out if these goats belong to someone else. Elder 1, nodding thoughtfully, agreed. We need to send the young men to the neighboring villages to see if any herds have gone missing. Elder 2, laughing lightly, or perhaps Kabuki has discovered a hidden goat land, and he's bringing us its riches. Let's not joke about this. There's something odd about those goats. How can he-goats produce milk like female goats, and why do they only give milk to Mwangi? Kabuki questions, grumbling. Elder 3, nodding, let's send out the young men. If there are missing goats, we'll know soon enough. 2 young men, Amu and Edu, from the village, travel to the neighboring communities, inquiring about missing goats. Each village denies having lost any livestock. Have you had any goats disappear recently? We have strange goats showing up in our village. Amu inquires from the neighboring village chief. No. All of our goats are accounted for. Why do you ask? Neighboring chief shaking his head. It's the strangest thing. Mwangi's goat keeps bringing back more he-goats every week, and no one knows where they're from and why there are no female goats. Edu scratching his head. The neighboring chief laughs, a he-goat bringing back other he-goats? That sounds like a good problem to have. Edu thinks to himself, worried, if none of the villages are missing goats, then where are they coming from? 1 week later once again, Kabuki has disappeared for 2 days, and Mwangi, though concerned, now expects him to return with more goats. It's been 2 days again. You think Kabuki will bring back another group of goats? Mwangi inquires from Wairamu. Wairamu jokingly responds, at this rate, Papa, you'll have your own goat empire by next week. Mwangi nodding, pacing, I don't know whether to be happy or scared. I don't understand any of this. Suddenly, a loud bleating is heard again, and Kabuki appears at the gate, leading another 8 goats. Mwangi throws his hands in the air, torn between frustration and disbelief. 34 goats now. This is madness. Mwangi exasperated. The villagers have convinced Mwangi to sell some of the goats, hoping to get milk for themselves. But none of the goats produce any milk for their new owners, leaving the village puzzled. Villager 1, holding a goat, frustrated. Mwangi. You sold me this goat, but it's not giving any milk. Same here. How come they only give you milk? Villager 2, also frustrated. Mwangi confused, scratching his head. I don't know. They give me milk every day. I've been milking them since they arrived. Mama and Jerry gossiping loudly. Ah! Mwangi, what magic are you using? Why won't the goats give milk to anyone else? Elder Kabuki to the villagers. We need to call a council. This is no ordinary situation. There's something unnatural about these goats, or are they Mwangi's ancestors? The elders, now deeply concerned, gather once more. The mysterious behavior of the goats has the entire village on edge. This has gone too far. We need to perform a ritual, or something bad might happen to the village. Kabuki quite angry. Elder 1, calmly, we've sent men to every village, and no one is missing goats. Could it be that these goats are gifts from the gods? Elder 2, laughing, or maybe Kabuki is just a better herder than any of us. If they're gifts, why do they only give milk to Mwangi? This must be investigated further. Kabuki grumbling. Elder 3, thoughtfully, perhaps we should observe Kabuki closely. There might be more to this goat than we realize. Mwangi, now resigned to Kabuki's pattern, waits for him to return after another 2-day disappearance. Papa, do you think Kabuki will bring more goats today? Wairamu yawning, stepping outside. Mwangi shakes his head, smiling. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if he brought back elephants. Every week, he surprises me. Mwangi is growing used to Kabuki's regular disappearances and returns with goats, but this morning, something different happens. Mwangi sees Kabuki arriving, leading 8 large herd of cows, all healthy and robust, into the homestead. Cows! Kabuki, where did you? Mwangi completely stunned, his jaw dropping. Wairamu laughing incredulously. Baba! Kabuki has outdone himself. First goats, now cows. Mama and Jerry appearing from behind the fence, gasping. Jehovah! Mwangi! I told you this goat is not normal. Look at these cows, so big and healthy. The news about Kabuki bringing cows spreads quickly, and the villagers gather in awe as Mwangi leads the cows to the village square. Villager 1, in disbelief, Mwangi, you're telling me these cows just followed your goat home? Mwangi nodding, still confused, yes. Just like the goats. And look how healthy they are. They give so much milk, I can supply the whole village now. At least he didn't bring bulls this time. Villager 2, joking, first goats, now cows. What's next? Kabuki might bring you gold from Mount Kenya. Mama and Jerry excitedly spreading gossip. These cows give more milk than any I've seen. Mwangi will become a kingpin at this rate. Elder Kabuki seriously, stepping forward. This is not natural, Mwangi. Cows and goats don't just appear out of nowhere. We must offer a sacrifice to the gods to thank them for these blessings. Mwangi confused, sacrifice? Why? The goats and cows don't belong to anyone else. Kabuki firmly, this is a sign from the gods, the god of Mount Kenya. We must honor the gods with a proper sacrifice. The Elders' Council, convened to discuss the mysterious livestock, brought by Kabuki. Kabuki leads the discussion. The village has been blessed with 34 goats and 8 cows, but we cannot ignore the mystery. These animals don't belong to Mwangi, and we must offer a sacrifice tonight to ensure our safety and prosperity. Elder 1, nodding in agreement, yes, if we don't honor the gods, this blessing could turn into a curse. Elder 2, laughing, or maybe Kabuki is the god himself, bringing to Mwangi, not to the village. We have no claim to the animals whatsoever. Kariuki seriously ignoring the joke. We will sacrifice 4 of the goats tomorrow. The young men will collect them tonight. Mwangi has no right to claim them as his either. Late that evening 3 young men arrive at Mwangi's homestead. Edu, Kama and Kanu, reluctantly prepared to take the goats for sacrifice. They approach the goats cautiously. I don't feel right about this. These goats aren't normal. Edu whispering nervously. Kama nods, but Kariuki says we have to. Let's just grab a few and get out of here. Suddenly, as the young men reach for the goats, Kabuki steps forward, bleating loudly. The other goats and cows suddenly surround the young men, lowering their heads, looking ready to charge. Are they going to attack us? Kanu terrified. Edu panicked, stepping back. I think so. Oh my god. Run, save your souls. The young men stumble back, retreating quickly as Kabuki leads the herd in an intimidating stance. The cows snort, and the goats stomp their hooves, making it clear they won't be taken. The next morning the villagers gather in the square, hearing of the young men's failed attempt to take the goats. Mwangi arrives, confused and worried. Villager 1, gasping, did you hear? The goats and cows almost attacked the young men when they tried to take them for sacrifice. Mama and Jerry responds dramatically, it's true. Kabuki stood like a warrior and scared them off. These animals are not ordinary goats and cows. Kariuki, furious, addresses the crowd, this is a warning. We must perform a ritual. These animals are controlled by dark forces. Mwangi turns defensive, raising his hands, no. Kabuki wouldn't harm anyone. He's brought us all this milk. Why would the gods punish us for that? Wairamu stepping forward, maybe the goats and cows are protecting themselves because they know we shouldn't be sacrificing them. Kabuki brought them here for a reason. The elders meet once again in the afternoon, faced with a dilemma. Kariuki insists on a sacrifice, but the villagers are increasingly afraid of the animals. If we don't sacrifice them, the gods will be angry. We must make the offering. Kariuki angrily interjected. Elder 1, calmly, but no village has claimed these goats or cows, and they haven't harmed us. Perhaps this is truly a blessing, not a curse. Elder 2, chuckling, it seems even the animals won't let you take them, Kariuki. Maybe we should listen to them. Elder 3, thoughtfully, we should observe them for a while longer. If they continue to provide milk and cause no harm, we should be thankful, not afraid. With a beautiful sunset and a clear, breathtaking view of Mount Kenya, Mwangi sits outside his home, watching the cows and goats graze peacefully, Kabuki standing proudly among them. Wairamu sits beside him, deep in thought. Baba, I think Kabuki brought these animals here to help the village. No one is missing them, and they provide enough milk for everyone. Why are we so quick to fear something we don't understand? Mwangi nodding and smiling, you're right. Kabuki may not be ordinary, but he's brought nothing but good. Maybe the gods are watching over us after all, but I'll also sense jealousy from Elder Kariuki. Kabuki bleating confidently, he looks up, as if understanding their words, his one eye gleaming in the fading sunlight. The next morning the village square is filled with laughter and joy as Mwangi shares milk with the villagers. The cows and goats continue to produce an abundance of milk, and the people have grown to accept the mystery of Kabuki. Mwangi, you're the richest man in the village now. We should build a statue of Kabuki. I still think Kabuki is blessed by Nai. Maybe he is an angle in form of a goat, villager 1 laughing while drinking milk. Mama and Jerry laughs and jokes, or is it Angle Gabriel? The villagers have grown tired of Karaoke's constant suspicions and fear-mongering about Kabuki. They gather in the village square to vote for a new leader. Villager 1, raising his hand. I say we replace Karaoke. Mwangi has brought us nothing but prosperity with Kabuki's help. Villager 2, agreeing. Yes. Ever since Kabuki brought those goats and cows, the village has had more milk than we can drink. Karaoke only brings fear and talks of curses. Mama and Jerry leading the chant. Mwangi for leader. Mwangi for leader. Karaoke furious, trying to regain control. You're making a mistake. This goat will bring doom to the village. I've warned you all. Villager 3, laughing. Doom? Kabuki has done more for this village than you ever did, Karaoke. It's time for new leadership. The villagers, united, voted unanimously to replace Karaoke with Mwangi as the new village leader. The village square is full of excitement as Mwangi, accompanied by Kabuki, is formally announced as the new village leader. A small ceremony is held with laughter, music, and celebration. Mama and Jerry beaming with pride. Mwangi, you deserve this. You've brought prosperity to us all, and Kabuki has done wonders. Mwangi graciously, raising his hand. Thank you, my friends. I accept this honor, but let's not forget, it's Kabuki who led us to this bounty. Without him, none of this would have been possible. Villager 1, laughing. We should make Kabuki the leader of all the animals. He's already done more for them than we ever could. Wairamu smiling proudly. It seems Kabuki already knows his role. Look how all the animals follow him. The villagers, cheering, declare Kabuki as the official leader of all the animals in the village. Karaoke, now defeated, walks through the village, grumbling to himself as he sees the villagers celebrating Mwangi and Kabuki's leadership. A goat, a one-eyed, ugly goat, has more power than I do. How did this happen? Karaoke grumbles. Villager 2, mockingly. Karaoke, you should have embraced Kabuki instead of fighting him. Maybe you'd still be in charge if you hadn't been so suspicious. Karaoke defeated, walking away. This village is lost, to a goat. A one-eyed, ugly goat. Days later, the village is thriving under Mwangi's leadership. The goats and cows produce even more milk, and everyone is prosperous. Kabuki roams the village freely, followed by a loyal band of animals. Villager 1, drinking a cup of milk, laughing. I've never seen so much milk in my life. Mwangi, you and Kabuki have changed everything. Mama and Jerry gossiping as usual happily. I knew it all along. Kabuki is special. I always said he was blessed by the gods. And now I am convinced his angel Gabriel back to us in form of a goat. Wairamu smiling, standing beside her father. Papa, I think this village is finally where it needs to be. Mwangi nodding, looking at Kabuki. Thanks to Kabuki. He's not just a goat, he's a protector. Who would have thought a one-eyed, ugly purple limping goat would lead us all? Kabuki bleating proudly, standing tall at the center of the village. The villagers cheer, celebrating their new leaders, Mwangi and Kabuki. The village throws a grand feast to celebrate their new leadership. Milk flows freely, and the villagers dance and laugh, all while Kabuki watches from a hilltop, proudly surveying his kingdom. Villager 3, raising a cup of milk. To Mwangi and Kabuki, the leaders who saved the village. Villagers cheering. Mwangi. Kabuki. Mwangi. Kabuki. Mwangi humbly responds. This is only the beginning. With Kabuki's guidance, we will continue to thrive. Kabuki bleeding, his head held high, the animals gather around him, as if accepting his leadership. The village's prosperity is clear, and Mwangi stands at the center of the square, addressing the audience. This village's story is just the beginning. Follow Kabuki and me on this journey as we continue to grow, thrive, and discover the mysteries of our land. Wairamu playfully. And don't forget, you too can be part of the story. Subscribe to our journey for more incredible tales, prosperity, and, of course, Kabuki's adventures. Mama and Jerry excitedly. Follow us. You don't want to miss what Kabuki does next. Mwangi cheerfully. So hit that follow button, join our growing family, and let's continue to spread the magic of Drama Horn to the world.